Hello everyone, and welcome to Greenlight. Today we're going to talk about future and history on DVD film discussion. So today on DVD film discussion, we're talking about Robert Rodriguez' Once Upon a Time in Mexico DVD. There's a featurette in there that's amazing. It's called Film is Dead. Now, we're not talking about technical things like film versus digital and all that. Now it's more niche-y. I love film. I'm a student of it and have learned a lot about it growing up into film. So it's something that I always, feel a certain way about, a certain warmness to it that makes me feel at home. So I may revisit that at one point in a future project. But in this video today, we are talking about how future and history is needed in any kind of business and or art form. With this being said, there's many things going on in the film and entertainment industry. You hear this a lot, especially in hip-hop. New generations not giving credit where credit is due for a generation that was there before us. If you understand, there's many things changing in the film industry, especially everything being shot in digital, all the technical things. But there are things in the business aspect, distribution, and many other things that are changing. So to me, future and history coincide. They are one and the same. You can't have one without the other. You can't know where you're going without knowing where you've been. If you get where I'm getting at, this is something that's not new to you. So it's something, that I've talked about with my friends. They're in the music industry. So it's a little bit different, but I get a different perspective in entertainment business in general than most filmmakers. So here I have cut a snippet of Film is Dead interview, Q&A, so to speak, of Robert Rodriguez, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. There are a couple of featurettes on there, as well as this one, that are amazing for any filmmaker. There's a 15-minute flick school. I love Robert Rodriguez growing up. A lot of what I'm doing in this channel pertains to a lot of his beliefs in some ways. I've added more of I guess you could say nowadays millennial edge to it. Social media and everything, I'm trying to take it on a different route. But with that being said, without further ado, Robert Rodriguez.
I really want to try to let you in on, because so much of HD talk is technical, but there's a creative side that just can never be equaled by the film process. Suddenly a lot of projects that I thought would never be good to shoot on film suddenly feel like they can be done. That's what makes it revolutionary, is that projects you would normally just shy away from, you'll just go do. I know so many directors who make a movie once every 4 years because they're just so tired afterwards. And they're tired of the process. The process is what drags them down. And they call me and they say, you seem to be having fun. How can I have fun again? And I tell them that the process has just gotten very convoluted. I kind of liken it to painting. What I like about the new technology is it makes you more like a painter, where it's so immediate. And I talk a lot about speed. And it is important because when you want to move at the speed of thought, so that you become like a painter again who can just mix his paint and put it up before he even knows what he was doing, and there it is. Where the way the system works, and this is why studios, when they do make a good movie, they'll call each other up and congratulate each other because they know how difficult it is to make a good movie, because it's made, well, in spite of the system that exists, not because of it. And when it can be simplified, the process is easy, everything's easy. This is why actors keep coming back to work with me, because the process is so simplified, they never feel like they're working. And neither do I. My mom told me a funny story when I was a kid, and I really liken Hollywood to that, in how long it takes for us to question tradition. And I always like this story because it's so true in a lot of ways, where a young couple is making ham, and the wife is cutting the edges off of the sides, and the husband asks, before she bakes it, why do you cut all the ends of the ham off before you bake it? That seems like so wasteful. She goes, I don't know, that's what my mom always did. Well, let's go ask your mother. How come you cut all the ends off the ham before you bake it? Well, I don't know, that's what my grandmother did. Let's go ask her. Ask the grandmother, why'd you cut all the ends of the ham off before you baked it? She goes, oh, that's the only way I could get it to fit in the pan I had back then. And so I think a lot of things we do, we don't even realize why we're doing. We're just doing them because they've always been done that way. Not knowing that there's new ways to do things, new technologies out there. And let's say the danger of shooting HD is that once you take that big leap and use a bigger pan, you start realizing, hey, we can do everything differently now. We don't have to throw half the milk out. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. And you question the entire system. And that's a good thing, too. You know, you'll see a lot of money be spent on a movie. You see a lot of talent, and sometimes you'll look at it and go, that's it? That's the finished product? After all that money, after all that talent, after all that work? Why? Well, it was such an ordeal just to get the first brushstroke on. Yeah, it's barely there. Whereas if the process is simplified, you can have something that has a lot more layers, that has a lot more, the actual painting, the actual work is there, the actual creative, more time was spent on the actual creative part of making the movie than on the obstacle course that exists. I mean, I went and did a whole list of pros and cons on shooting film and shooting HD, and when it came down to it, the only reason you would shoot film is for nostalgic reasons. There was absolutely no practical purpose whatsoever for money, for creativity, for look, for degradation of image, for color, for... It just didn't make any sense. It would have to be like, you know, you're a vinyl record guy and you like vinyl. But right now the movie business is a lot like Enron. They're not really making any money because movies are so expensive. And how do you reverse the tide? Well, people have to use the new technologies smartly, and people coming up are the ones who are going to be able to save it, because it's not going to be able to sustain itself the way it's going. You know, John Lasseter always says that technology challenges art and art challenges technology. It really does push the boundaries of what you can do artistically. The technology, if used correctly, it really frees you. And so many creative people, I know it's just a natural tendency, even for myself, to not get into technology. Creative people are usually the slowest to adopt a new technology. And it's ultimately going to free them. You know, it could be a really exciting, you know, kick in the pants to movie making, which it sort of needs. It's become very recycled and very much, we're kind of doing the same movies over and over again. And when you can, technology will really push the art. And that's what's great about it, you know, embracing it, is that we can really come up with a new cinema.
Now that you see what I'm talking about, Robert Rodriguez is amazing. He has always been open to technology, a lot like George Lucas. It was said in here in this Q&A that he got interested in to HD because of George Lucas. So, you know, it begs to question as to how innovative can you be with film in the future. I would say look into the past. Look into the changes, because what used to be a trend may be a new trend now, just in a different form. Nowadays, to me, what's trending is this distribution thing. With us having it in our hands, we can do anything, and you can do it too. So, with that being said, this is probably going to lead on to another DVD film discussion, which I'll have about THX 1138 in pertaining to this, about the future and what that means to us as creatives, filmmakers, artists, rappers, musicians, anything. You even build a house, you're an artist too. So stay creative, stay on it. I truly appreciate you guys checking out this video and the many other ones that I have. I'm seeing that DVD film discussion is something that you guys really enjoy. I'm also going to be doing those vlogs on the side here and there, and there's some nugget of information in there for you as well. I also wanted to make note to you guys that I have been noticing a spike in comments in a way. I'm not that huge right now. I'm at like 25 subscribers. So thank you guys, and this is how I'm going to thank you. I'm going to put all your comments right here and just kind of list them out, what I'm kind of go through. As you can see, they'll probably like roll through like credits. So with that being said, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, and please consider commenting so you can get your comments on here. Please say some more things than, thanking me for the video. I really, appreciate that you thank me, but really I just want to hear about your projects, and I want to hear about your troubles and things that you're going through as a micro-budget filmmaker, going up to, eventually a pro. So please leave comments below about your films and troubles that you're having with your next projects. Let me know.